Hi, and welcome to the Space Space, your launch pad for all things cosmic. I'm your host, Esmeralda Zamora, and today we're exploring how a planet that collided with Earth could likely be from one of our very own solar systems, from comets to aliens and everything in between. Joining me is our Eric Henrickson, laughing over there in the corner. Eric, how are you doing?
I'm good. You threw the aliens in there.
Because that's my favorite.
I know, but there's no. We can't start the show with aliens. There's no aliens today.
There is.
Okay, there's like one alien.
We just can't see them.
Can't. Yeah. Okay.
They're watching us.
You insist. If you insist upon aliens, we will talk about aliens.
Okay,
Just a little bit.
We are not talking about aliens, but we are talking about a collision with a planet and our planet.
Yeah, Earth's collided with the planet before.
And when was that?
That was 4.5 billion years ago. So there's new research out that we're going to dive into today, talking about the planet Theia. And Theia was one of the planets in our early solar system, 4.5 billion years ago, and it was completely obliterated when it collided with the Earth.
And it turned into our moon?
The chunk that it exploded off of our Earth turned into the moon. Mm-hmm. So there are pieces of Theia inside our Earth and inside the moon. There's no like real pieces left otherwise, like nothing, no large chunks, but the chunk that was scraped off. So one of the ideas, let me go back. One of the ideas behind Earth's, how we got our moon, was that something collided with us and became our moon, or something got caught in our orbit. And one of the big theories is this planet called Theia. And Theia is this planet that we know a little bit about from like geological records, but the idea was it hit our Earth when it was early in the stages, when it was still like magma-y and lava-y, not solid. Humans definitely weren't around. Most animals, if any animals, were not around. It was 4.5 billion years ago. I don't think single-cell organisms were around yet. Very dangerous place to be. Collision occurs, chunk of the Earth gets ripped asunder and becomes our moon, and Theia itself just gets destroyed in the process. And there's been this theory for a long time. Well, now new research is looking at this theory, and it's like, where did Theia exist? How did it come to be? And now we know a little bit more about it, thanks to some researchers.
And why was Theia the name that was chosen?
What? Why are you throwing that at me? I don't know.
I want to know.
I have no idea. I think it was Greek. I did read it was Greek earlier, but I didn't really read beyond that. I don't know. It was Theia.
And why didn't we name our moon Theia? Why is it moon?
Because we knew that the moon before, and the moon's name is Luna, by the way.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, the moon, we knew about that since humans began. Theia is more of a more recent discovery. We obviously were not around when Theia hit the Earth, and our knowledge of it is very lacking. And this new research digging into what we do know about it and learning more.
Well, you spoke with certain people about this. Who did you talk to?
The Associated Press spoke to. They did me a favor, and they got an interview with Jake Foster with the Royal Observatory in Greenwich. He talked about where did Theia come from and kind of the origins and what this new research discovers about it here. Take a look at that.
Theia, we believe, is an ancient planet that smashed into the Earth about 4.5 billion years ago. It was probably around the size of Mars, and when it smashed into the Earth, it essentially demolished itself. It kicked up a lot of debris into space, along with some of the Earth, and over time, that debris coalesced together to form the moon. Not only do we have this hypothesis about Theia and the formation of the moon, but now we can pinpoint to where in the solar system Theia originated from. So we're slowly filling in the gaps of a cosmic murder mystery. The only remnants we have are bits of rock that are embedded within the Earth and also that make up the moon. So by studying those rocks and their chemical signatures, we can begin to paint a picture of where Theia came from.
So that's where she came from.
That's Theia's origins. So this new research, what they did was they took a look at isotopes. There was some isotopes that are consistent. I didn't write them down here. Oh, no, I did. Iron, chromium, zirconium, and molly. I wrote it. I didn't say it out loud earlier. Molybdenum. These are common isotopes, minerals that exist on the Earth, in the moon, and meteorites. And they believe they're all related to Theia. So what they did was they took all these things that they know about Theia, and they took that information and they kind of boiled it down to discover where does the isotopes that we have that are left over from Theia, does it have any of these other, iron, chromium, zirconium, and the one I can't pronounce, does it have any of those inside that isotope? And if it does, it'll tell us where it came from. And based on this kind of like reverse engineering of the planet, they think it came from closer to the sun than Earth is. So it was about the size of Mars, by the way. It's not a huge planet, but not a small planet either. It's about the size of Mars, and it existed between the Earth and maybe Venus, is what they're thinking.
So there was more planets in our solar system than we thought.
9 at one point, and now there's 8, and then Pluto.
And there couldn't have been any life on that planet because it was super close to the sun.
Well, no, that doesn't rule it out. But it was also just early in the solar system's life. So highly unlikely there was life 4.5 billion years ago. Everything was still pretty magma-y on all the planets that did exist at that time. They were still forming, and you need water. And from what we understand, you need water and just the right circumstances for life to exist. It was still too early for life to exist at that time. So unlikely that Theia had any sort of life form on it. It was probably a big magma ball that when it collided, it kind of hit our magma ball and then shattered off.
Maybe that's where Lava Girl came from.
And Shark Boy came from...
Earth?
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I was a little too old for those movies when they came out. Thank you very much. Any other things I want to talk about here? Not really.
But is there like fragments still from that planet that we can
very
find?
Tiny ones that are on the Earth, in the Moon, and meteorites, and then a couple, up in space. Very tiny. There's not a significant remnants, and if there are, it'd probably be very hard to find.
Are they that size, like what we're looking at in the picture?
That's a moonscape kind of thing. They were doing like a moon experiment, but no, maybe the largest ones are about probably that size. So that's not super big.
It's like a normal rock.
To say the planet was obliterated, it was obliterated. It it was gone. Like it hit the Earth and just, and the fact that the Earth survived.
Yeah.
From what I've read in the past, it was kind of a glancing blow, most likely. So it was like if let me get in the right spot. If this was Earth, it probably went like.
Let me get it
like
full.
this, kind of like that, and in the process, kind of like shaved itself off into nothing. But it took off enough of a chunk of the Earth that it became the Moon.
Oh.
More like that.
So we could have been bigger.
Yeah, we were bigger at one point.
Wow.
So our leftovers are the Moon. I pointed it that way, like that's where the moon is.
That's where the moon
I have no
is.
idea where the moon is right now in the sky. I don't even know where I'm at right now. We're in the space box.
We're in the spaceship.
In the spaceship, sailing through the cosmos of knowledge.
Yes.
So yeah, that was pretty cool though. Theia,
Yeah.
we learn more about it. We learned that this played a big role in the formation of the Earth and the Moon system, and it's completely destroyed. But now we know it existed closer to the sun. One theory I used to read all the time, this is all the time back when I was a kid, was that it was a rogue planet, just a planet flying through space. This
colliding with everyone in its path.
Or if anything got in its path, and we happen to have gotten into its path, this means it may not be the case, that it may have literally just been another planet in our solar system, and our paths crossed in the wrong time.
And good thing it wasn't our time, right?
If that happened, I don't think there's anything we could do.
No.
Honestly, if a planet collided with ours, this is bleak, but I don't think there's anything we could do. An asteroid we could deflect, right? It's proper, size that we could.
Would we get a warning?
For an asteroid?
Yeah.
Yeah, we would have something of a warning. Depends on how early. If we catch it early enough, the better, right? If you catch it when it's out by Jupiter coming towards Earth, that's good. You can meet it halfway and.
What
push
can we
it out of the
do?
way.
Leave Earth?
Well, no, we have a thing called DART that we can launch into an asteroid.
Oh,
They
okay.
did this a couple years ago as a test, but they proved it worked. And you basically just kind of, if something's far enough away, all you have to do is nudge it a little
Redirect
bit.
it.
You don't have to knock it away off course. You don't have to blow it up. A little nudge is all it takes. If you move it by 6 feet, by the time it gets to Earth, it's off by 10,000 miles because of the amount of distance we're talking about. You ever get lost in the woods and you think you're walking the right way?
No.
But you take a little. You don't have adventures as a kid like I did. But if you take a step just slightly to the right, by the time you reach your destination, you've missed it by a mile. And that's kind of what we would do with an asteroid. If we detected it too close to Earth, we could still do that, but we'd have to do more than a nudge. It would have to be a shove. So that's kind of with Earth, with an asteroid. If it's a planet coming at us,
Not much you can do.
there's not much. There's nothing we could do. It would just.
And would
it'd be
you
over.
prefer, let's say we didn't have that redirecting thing that you could do if an asteroid is coming to us, would you prefer that you get a heads up that one's coming or that you just find out when it gets here?
That's a great question. I think humanity could not handle a heads up, but I think I would prefer a heads up. I think that I think people would. I think it would be really it would be rough. But if there's a chance, it depends on the size of the asteroid. If it's a chance and where it's going to fall and everything, yeah, I'd like a heads up there. But if it's like going to wipe us out, like I don't think
If it's a planet.
if it's a planet, yeah, I don't think a heads up would help anybody. I think we probably just need to keep it to ourselves and just let it happen.
Let it happen when it happens.
Because I think people would. It'd just be hard. It'd just be a hard thing knowing that the end is so near.
I think people would freak out.
Yeah, people would freak out. I mean, I would freak out. I definitely would freak out. I got a lot to live for. Speaking of a lot to live for, 3i Atlas.
We've talked about this before.
Yeah, so NASA revealed some new photos of it last week. We have those photos we can show you. They are the least.
Oh my gosh,
photos.
those are beautiful.
They're so wonderful, right? But there's new photos of a comet from outside of our solar system. Yeah. It passed Mars last month, 18 million miles away from us. NASA and the ESA spacecraft near Mars capture these new
These pictures are killing me.
Close-up images. Here's what we now know. It's about 1,400 feet to 3.5 miles in size and diameter. The comet currently sits 190 million miles from Earth. We'll get as close as 167 million miles, in mid-December. That's when it's going to get its closest.
It's moving fast.
It is moving fast. We're learning more about it. You and I were talking. We'll do our alien talk. I was online, looking for what have we learned that's new? Have we learned anything new in the past couple weeks? And every single story I saw, except for maybe 2, and those were from NASA, were the probes it's launching towards Jupiter, or the alien life that's on board. What could it bring?
What are they trying to do?
Completely unfounded. So if you see those things online, they're saying the aliens are here on 3i Atlas. If they are here, we don't know about it, and they're likely not here. That's very unlikely. It's very much a comet. So
just an empty comet.
A big ice rock, a big dirty ice rock. Yeah. It's not a spaceship. It's not launching pods.
Are you sure?
I'm gonna say 99% sure. There's always that 1% chance. I don't think we have anything to worry about. Also, it doesn't get that close to Earth. 167 million miles is not that close to Earth.
So what you're saying is if anyone is researching the 3i Atlas comet, do not look at any other news other than NASA's.
Yeah, only watch NASA and KXAN.com. That's all you should care about.
Well, be careful with that one because we do talk about aliens.
We do talk about it, but we're talking about the realities of it. And the realities of it is there's no aliens on board.
It's just a rock.
But there was so many stories I saw about it, and I think people have a curiosity about this comet. One interesting thing, Tom Stalter with NASA was talking at a press conference last week and talked about where it could have come from. And we have that sound. I want to show you that. I thought it was interesting.
It would be great. It would be fabulous if we could trace back the incoming trajectory into the solar system and trace that back and figure out where it came from. But things are not quite so simple. Our galaxy, as Sean knows, is a big and complicated place. And the sun and all the other stars in our galaxy are in orbit around the center of the galaxy. And so 3i Atlas has been in interstellar space for a very long time. There is circumstantial evidence, given how fast it has come in to our solar system, that it came from some very old population, solar system around a very old star. Quite possibly, we can't say this for sure, but the likelihood is it came from a solar system older than our own solar system itself, which gives me goosebumps to think about, frankly, because that means the 3i Atlas is not just a window into another solar system, it's a window into the deep past, and so deep in the past that it predates even the formation of our Earth and our sun.
That's scary.
Why is it scary?
Because he said it comes from a solar system that existed way before us. Who existed in that solar system before us?
Stop asking who. Ask
what.
What. Yeah, it could be what lived in that solar system before us, not who lived there.
But what really did?
No telling.
They're sending stuff our way, so they must still be
They're not
alive.
sending stuff our way. See, you are working of the audience, making them think that these aliens are coming. There's no aliens on board this comet, unless there is.
We can totally tell with these photos. There's no one in there.
Yeah, look at those photos. That tells you everything you need to know. First of all, it tells us a lot about us, where we're at as a species, that these are the new photos. But yeah, 3i Atlas, it'll be here. Mid-December will be its closest, and then after that, it's going to zip off past our solar system forever.
And it's visible from Earth?
Yeah, if you use binoculars or telescopes around mid-December, you might be able to see it just a little bit. And we'll have more information on that closer to the date.
And what can you look out for?
Like a comet.
Like just so.
Yeah, it's going to look like a comet. Like it'll be a tiny comet. But we'll know more. We'll know more closer to how much we'll be actually able to see.
Once
As
it
it gets
gets
closer to the
closer to
sun,
us.
it gets but it's not gonna get super close. Just enough to launch probes. But when as it gets closer to the sun, it'll have more of a tail. We do it.
Big
There you go.
Eric
Like more of a
cam.
tail. We need the big cam for me. It's like I have to do hand gestures. And that tail will allow us to get a better view of it. So,
And the tail, is it kind of like when you see the jet streams like leave like cloud, or
it
is
sounds
it
like a ship. It's not. No, it is the ice melting on the comet. As it melts, it forms a tail of vapor. So,
or it might be the tail of the alien.
Okay. One final story for you today.
And this one we touched on last week.
Yeah, follow up
It's
from
an
last week.
update.
So we talked about Shenzhou 22, which is the Chinese astronauts. They are stuck on board their space station, the Tiangong space station, and they were stuck there because there was some damage to the ship. Well, they have launched today. Well, they are launched a return craft.
That damage was a cracked window, right?
Yes, there was a cracked window on the spaceship, and so they couldn't return to Earth safely on that spaceship. So now they're launching a new one. They have one ready, and they're going to zip that one up there, so they have a way to return home ahead of the next time they switch astronauts. So we told you about that last week. 3 Chinese astronauts stuck on board. The rescue vessel is on its way, so they're going to have a chance to get home, in 5 months. Because they do 6-month stays.
And is it going to be like when we rescued our astronauts where we just replace them, or are they going to bring all 3 back?
This one is to bring them all 3 back. We'll replace them in 6 months. But this is just for them to bring
Come
them
back home.
Yeah, that's what this. They did that already. They did what we did already, where they sent 3 people up to replace and get the other 3 home. This is just a ship to get these 3 home.
And will they make it home before the holidays?
No. Holidays are Chinese holidays are different.
That's true.
Christmas, I feel like it's celebrated there. I'm not an expert, honestly.
I'm not sure.
But in the New Year is a different time there. But no, they do 6-month stays, and they got up there 2 weeks ago. So 2 weeks,
6 months up
do
there.
6 months. They'll be in there. Was it April that we looked at? I think last time we talked about it being April. So they'll come back in April. But for now, they're gonna stay up there for a little bit.
Well, they have lots to do up there, right? They're kind of learning and going as they're stuck up there.
Yeah, they're doing some experiments. The last group, remember we talked about this, they did like mice and zero-G to see what they did. I don't know all about the experiments they do. Again, it's always kind of the hardest part with Chinese Space Agency is they do things, we learn about through their state media when it comes out, so we kind of have to, it's all secondhand. But yeah, they'll be up there for a few months, and now they have a spaceship to get home. So just positive news. I want to put a little period on last week's story.
Yeah.
That they have found
Kind
a
of
way to
ended
come home.
gloomy, but now they're on their way back.
Yeah, it's like quantum leap. They found a way home.
They found their way. Well, your article on the planets that collided with Earth, likely being from our solar system, is on our website, KXAN.com. What can our viewers or readers learn on this?
I have a few more quotes in there explaining kind of the history of Theia from Jake Foster. I thought that was interesting. This awesome photo, by the way.
This is awesome.
Yeah, I think that gave a better example than how I did it with my hands earlier. I have that photo. I don't know why I didn't just bring that photo. But that was from Getty Images. Someone did a visualization of it, so that's what it looked like, as it obliterated and became our moon.
That is cool. And these are the pieces that are just kind of floating around.
Some, and then one was probably our moon is what it would be. Nice. But again, it's a drawing. We don't know for sure what it looked like.
Well,
maybe we'll witness something similar in our solar system, or not our solar system, but in our universe. Like
hopefully not.
I mean, like not, just so we can see how it happened. and it's a good thing.
Maybe we can recreate it, right?
I don't know if we want to recreate.
No, like in a little
lab,
like a
rock.
like a
well,
little
I can throw
diagram.
2 rocks against each other and we can see what happens.
You just recreated it with your hand
I'm pretty sure
visuals.
I just did it. I did this whole thing. I mean, made sound effects. It was a whole thing.
That was a whole thing. And you need to bring that whole thing to our next stream next week.
We will have some fun stuff next week. We'll see you then.
Thanks for joining me, Eric.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for hanging out with us here on the Space Base. Again, I'm Esmeralda Zamora, and if you want more great conversations like this one, make sure to stream us on KXAN Plus. It's free to download on your favorite TV app store and works on any streaming device. And don't forget to check out KXAN.com for the latest news. And I gotta go because Eric is laughing at me, so we gotta go. Good.
Bye.
See you next week.